Okay, so welcome back to some more MXGP Pro. Now, I recorded Career Part 2 as well as this two-stroke video, upgraded two-stroke video at the same time. So I'm not sure which video you're seeing first, but yeah, we're going to grab this TC250, check out the compound, ride some trails, stuff like that. I did gain enough credits to do that. There's a few other things I need to upgrade on it, which I'll do before we go to the compound. But yeah, we're going to go ride some trails, check out the tracks, and just see in general how good the 250 two-stroke can be when it's semi-upgraded. Okay, so here we are at the compound on this super sick-looking TC 250 two-stroke. It is semi-upgraded. I know it has the... what does it have? It has exhaust, brakes, tires. It does not have suspension. It doesn't have a few things. Now, we're going to ride around on the track, at least this track, because it's right here. I don't know it. I mean, I think I rode about half a lap here once when I got the game. Now, if you start the tutorial, it takes you here or to one of these. It really doesn't. I don't know if it makes you go on the track, but it takes you around. It wants you to go around the track because it's teaching you kind of how to scrub, how to do a bunch of different stuff. So, and you'll be riding around like this, and then it'll pause it. It'll just completely pause the game, and you'll hear the voice of reason. No, you'll hear the tutorial voice come up and tell you what you need to do, and it'll show you on screen kind of what should happen. I'm struggling. I don't really know. I mean, I don't really know what this is. Like, whoa, that was a fat whip. Whoa, we landed it. Yeah, the whips, man. Just not a big fan. I know some people like it, and they're like, oh, you're doing it wrong. Okay, here, if you start it early, you can whip much quicker. If you start the whip late, it's a very slow animation, and it's kind of hard to control. So, word of advice, if you're trying to learn how to whip, start it early. So pull the thumbsticks away from each other or push them towards each other right at the face, the lip of the jump. So like, I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. There's only a few jumps that I can really do it on. It has to be a fairly... Well, I mean, you could do it on the smaller ones too, but to try to explain to you, I'm trying to find a jump that would actually make it work. These shadows are so real, but it's so hard to see anything. Oh my goodness. So like right there, I started whipping, and it's quick. Well, it was kind of slow. I was a little bit late. You actually want to start whipping to get the scrub to go a little bit before you leave the jump. That way the animation itself is much faster, and you can control it better. You can manipulate the whip a lot easier, but it is still very preset, I guess, very push buttony. I mean, that's like the only thing. That's like one of the only thing. Okay, there's a few things that I'm not happy with. Wow, I can't believe we got through that. Yeah, I know, we're not riding the compound very good, but hey, like I said, I haven't really messed around on the compound at all. I haven't done anything. I haven't been in here, so once we feel like let's try and find our line. Once I feel like we made a lap, we'll move out of here and go check out the trails, because people wanted to see the trails, the riding around the trails. Now, I do believe you can pick the weather conditions for stuff. Okay, so here's where we finish. So this is the finish line. Okay, so I do see... Where is it? Okay, all right. Oh, right here, there's a trail. There's these little... You can see the dotted lines on the map in the bottom left-hand corner. Those are your little trails, and they take you all over the place. They're kind of hard to follow sometimes. I get a wee bit lost, but we'll try our best. Somewhere in here... Right there it is. Ah, come on. Oh, you can drive that over. It's a small fence. It's not affected. Does not affect our bike. So, I mean, this is really cool. I like the fact that they have these trails in here to kind of lead you around. I mean, for me, I hit trees constantly. I do. But it's a cool idea, and who knows? Maybe that means Milestone wants to do a what is it? What's it called? The GN... what is it called? I'm going to say it. I might be wrong. The GNCC. Maybe they'll do something like that or something equivalent to it. We don't really know. I mean, it's fun, but this isn't... I mean, I like it, and I know a lot of other people are going to love this because they can free roam the compound like this. And, oh, here we are. We're back on the road. Nope. We're back on trails. People really like this. I just like the tracks. I mean, that's my big thing. This is so cool, though. It is pretty cool, and... I don't know if you can ride the compound. I haven't tried. I don't know if you can ride... You know, let's go back. There was a... Let's turn around here. There was it veered off to the left here, right here. I mean, you don't have to stay on the trails or anything. You can go wherever you want, but it's cool that it gives you a way to go. It's not And it's quite difficult. I mean, some of these spots are really tough. Like, we're not even really on the trail anymore here. Oh, I'm lost. Let's see. It goes this way, it looks like. I mean, I figure if we take the trails long enough, eventually it'll take us places that we haven't been. But you can see where there's... Oh, man, there's a whole bunch of stuff up here yet, too. So we go up this, and then it veers off. I mean, they're just trails. It's just trail riding. It's really cool. It's like enduro, man. It's pretty awesome. Like, this spot right here is a lot more fast-paced, and I suppose if you ride on this long enough... Let's take this. You'll kind of memorize the map and know where you're going and figure everything out. But some of these trails are really, 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 really tight. See, I missed it, I think. Or no, where is it? It should be right here. Ah, it's right here. See, look at this. There's so many trails. It's so cool. And, man, I'm sure on PC this looks fantastic. But it even looks fantastic here. I think that these are the best looking environments maybe I've ever seen. The best looking tracks with the detail. I know some people aren't happy that the tracks are kind of narrow, but I don't know. Maybe they're like that in real life. Maybe they're not. I don't know. But they are just amazing looking tracks. And these trails, you really feel like you're kind of riding around in a forest, I guess. It was really well done. They did a great job with that. There's a lot of things I'm not happy with. There's a lot of things that I think the game could have done better, and maybe would have been better to take a year off and change some of this. But I love moto games, and this is a different game, and it feels different to me. People keep saying it's MXGP 3 was way better and sounded better and looked better. I disagree. I think this game looks way, way, way better. I think the sounds are, for the most part, pretty good. There's a few that I'm not super happy with, but this is sweet. I mean, this is like... For the track guys like myself, they gave us the... I mean, this is so cool. They gave us the tracks here, the Supercross and the motocross track. They gave trails for people that want trails. They gave the free ride to where you don't have to obey the fact that they have these little trails here. You can do whatever you want. I mean, this is kind of... I don't know. I think that's really ugly. I think they have such an amazing map, and then they have this red wall there showing you the boundary. I think that's very ugly. I think they could have found a better way to... I don't know, to show you where the boundary was. And this is like the home base. This is base of operations is right here. And this is where we're sleeping. We're sleeping in this tent. Let me see. Where's... Oh, what's this? I didn't see this building. Oh, it's just another tent. Let me check the map. Where... Whoops, that's not the right... How do I get to the map? Oh my gosh, I'm hitting the button too many times. I think it's... Oh, okay, it's right here. So we are... there. So if we go back to the road and go clear the top and then left. Okay, so we got to go back to the road. I want to go to the Supercross track just a little bit. I also want to talk... Well, we'll wait till we get to the track to talk about the two-stroke, but I do feel like it is better being upgraded. And it doesn't sound like the CR250, I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong because I haven't played with the CR250 in a while, but I really do believe that the sound is different, just like the four-strokes have different sounds too. Was this really a Supercross track? This is like a... I think it's like a more jumpy motocross track. It doesn't really feel like a holy moly. Whoa! It's just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay, so here is the Supercross test track. I was kind of playing around on it, just kind of trying to familiarize myself with it a bit. But what I want to do is run a lap, let you listen to the bike a bit, and then come back and talk about the bike and a few other odds and ends before we wrap this video up. Okay, so I think this is pretty much where we started. So, Yeah, I don't know. I think the bike sounds different than the CR250 just in general. Even as a stock bike, I think it sounded different than the CR250. So maybe they're doing somewhat kind of what they did with the 4-strokes, where each bike sounds a bit different, which is really cool. I kind of use the bike as a stock bike, and I didn't really notice any... It didn't really seem like it sounded different when you put different exhaust on it or anything. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't really notice it. As far as just the bike goes, it feels a lot better than the CR250 felt. It felt better even stock than that bike felt. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It's just it did. It just straight up did. And as upgraded with the aftermarket parts that we put on it, even not being fully upgraded, like without suspension and stuff like that, it still feels like a really good bike. It's much more enjoyable to use than the CR250 stock bike was. Now, I already mentioned that the KX125 felt really, really good. It was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. But this bike is just as fun as that bike was. It's much more maneuverable. It doesn't feel so stiff. It felt weird, and it just didn't feel like a 2-stroke to me. And this one does a lot more. It still doesn't really feel like the clutch is where it needs to be. It's just not. Oh, check this out. Oh, we're not going to get it. Oh, we got it. Look at that quad. Oh, and then we jumped to the face of that. That is so sick. I love it. I love having that line like that. It's kind of hard to hit. It's not really hard. I mean, we got it on the first try, but it can be hard. It can be slightly hard, slightly annoying, but it's fun. It's really fun because that triple's so small. But overall, the layout of this track is pretty good. The compound in general is really good. I think where it shines, though, I mean, the Supercross track and the national track is good, but it's not like the most amazing track I've ever seen before, but it is good. It is really good. It's really solid, and it's kind of fun to run laps here. Now, I don't know if you can run this track or the compound in multiplayer. Like, I don't know if you can queue up with your friends and ride around in the compound free ride. I don't know if you can. It would be so cool if you could, and I know a lot of people want it. I haven't tried. I haven't checked. Right offhand, I kind of doubt it, but I could be wrong, so maybe you can. Maybe you can race the tracks too online. I don't know. But I think what people want is to be able to free ride the compound with their buddies. You know what I mean? So, but I think where the compound really shines, and we haven't explored very much of it. I mean, in this video, a very small portion of the compound has been explored. We need to check it out a lot more. There's a lot more to see, so you'll have to get the game for yourself if you want to see it, or maybe we'll check out the compound a bit more later with a different bike or something. But where the compound really shines is what I'm trying to say is with the trails. Having these random setup trails in the forest area like that to go explore, but yet giving you the freedom to go check out anywhere you want in the compound is really cool. And the only thing, and maybe I already said it, that I don't really like is this red barrier there. I think that's really ugly. I think it distracts from the fact that they've built this amazing environment, amazing looking tracks, just attention to detail, and then you have this really ugly barrier. It kind of reminds me of like snow fence. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, that orange fence that you can put that catches the snow, kind of looks like caution fence, like road working fence, you know. It reminds me of that to some degree, which I guess maybe that's what they were going for. But overall, it's just really ugly. It doesn't fit. It sticks out like a sore thumb, and I don't know. They could have done that a bit different, I think. But overall, the compound's really good. I'm not disappointed in it. I think the trails are amazing and everything. And I think the 2-strokes are good. I think they're really fun. I know people are complaining about the sounds to some degree. And the only complaint, like major complaint that I have, is that the clutch doesn't react on the bike like you would think it would. If you have a real 2-stroke in real life, or if you've ever rode one, it just doesn't feel like it's reacting the way you would think it would. I mean, it's definitely there and you can feel it, and it does seem to help some. Like, I noticed it on the KX125 the most, but I don't really notice the clutch on any of the other bikes. Again, I don't have a lot of time, and I haven't done like many tests to see, but it just doesn't, it's not as noticeable or is working, quote, working as I was expecting it to be. So that's my main complaints. But this 2-stroke, this 250, TC250 is super sweet. I love it. It's awesome. It feels good. It sounds okay. I think the 125s sound better than the 250s, but overall it's just they did a pretty decent job on it. So there's the 2-stroke that is upgraded. My opinions on the, because it was more on stock, this is more upgraded, kind of gave you my opinions on that. as well as the compound. So you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. And until the next video, take it easy.